This is a picture of like last week of my wax myrtle, Myrica cerifera, which is also called southern wax myrtle, bayberry. If you remember bayberry candles in the gift shops. And I became aware of it because down at First Monday, I bought my very first one back at the farm for to decorate jumps out in the pasture. And the kind guy that was there said, "You need this. This is the mother-in-law plant. It grows in any conditions. Nothing can kill it. It's an evergreen, and it's a great screen." And so he was right. I plunked it out by the jump in the pasture, and it grew bigger than the jump. So that was good news. And see how this plant, this was after the freeze that we had. And this is one that I planted last summer as out of a container. They're kind of hard to find because people don't have them around here in nurseries, but it is a Southeast United States plant, native plant. Let me see if I can get to the next slide here. Let's see. So I need a little help on how to get to the next slide, Bill.
You're on the next slide, the tree form and bark.
Great. This is the bark of the little tree that I planted, the little wax myrtle that I planted. And as you can see, it has multiple small trunks, and you can prune this into a really nice tree form, or you can keep it as a natural screen, or you can even clip it up like a hedge. Now let's see here.
There you go.
There's your leaf. It's showing a little wear and tear, but it's simple, alternate, lance-shaped, shiny, and it is aromatic. It's got a lemony scent that supposedly is an insect repellent, sort of like citronella. And so it does have little resin dots. The good news is that resin makes it deer resistant. And boy, am I really getting into deer resistant these days. And they do stay evergreen, as you can see. I mean, they might get a little wear and tear, but they will stay evergreen. Their flower is small, and actually, I don't have any recollection of seeing any flowers. This is a stock photo. I think my plants that I got were all grown from grafts of the same tree, and that tree might have been a male. But here's the fruit. It is a drupe, and it's a wildlife attractant, and settlers did make candles from the wax on the berries. And you do want to have male and female plants to get these berries. And I think that all my plants were from cuttings from the same male plant. So this is a perfect example of lack of diversification causing a problem for me, because I don't have berries. I never did get the berries. So here's another picture of my little plant. I actually planted about 5 of them in a row to make a hedge because of my background. I want to screen out eventually. These are native to zone 7 through 10, wet woodlands and grasslands, East Texas, New Jersey to the Gulf of Mexico, the whole eastern quarter of Texas. They'll take all kinds of soil. The one thing they don't really like is deep shade. My one in deep shade is not happy. But in the landscaping book that the Waskowskis did, she used this tree all the time in her landscaping plans in urban settings. One of the reasons is that they'll grow really well between like two strips of concrete. They don't have trouble. So what's not to like about this tree? It's fragrant, evergreen, drought tolerant, native tree, attracts moths, honeybees, birds, deer resistant, salt tolerant, good for coastal conditions, winter interest, great hedge, great buffer, great windbreak for animals. And like I said, in the Native Texas Plant book, she said it's extremely adaptable. This fast growing little multi-trunk tree not only is comfortable in Houston gumbo, but also can survive with as little as 25 inches of rain a year. It does require careful watering to get established, though. I will attest to that. It's ideal for cutouts in a patio or for median plantings because its roots don't mind confinement and poor drainage. And I thought, what is any downside? It says highly flammable due to resins. Now, I think that would be not a tree that you'd want in California right now by your house. And it said I read it might colonize to form a thicket. And I can imagine that would be a case like in East Texas, piney woods or something, where you would, be sort of slogging through a bog and getting to a bunch of these, but they don't have thorns and they would repel mosquitoes from their aromatic leaves. So I wouldn't even mind if they colonized in my bog in East Texas. And then, as I said, you got to take a look at your population, because most of the time they are dioecious and some are monoecious, so that a lot of times you might not get the fruit that you want if you don't have a male and a female plant. So that's my southern wax myrtle. Has anybody got them growing in their gardens?